Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. I'm so freaking excited because I am finally getting my custom shelves. I'm not going to call it a library yet because not a physical library. It's not a library room, but I'm finally getting the shelves built in custom shelves to handle all of my books because right now the books are out of control. And in my true fashion, I got really excited and forgot to kind of walk you guys through. But you've seen how my books are set up. I'm going to show you the areas and kind of where I am right now. But basically, I'm going to have custom shelves built in specific areas of the house. I'm going to walk you through what my thoughts are and my ideas are. And then I'm going to show you kind of what we're working with and lay out how I want everything to be. So let's go ahead and get started. So right now I am in the middle of spring cleaning. Like if you look at the kitchen, you're probably like, girl, did you clean it? I did. But I also cleaned this space today, which is where you guys have seen me do videos. And a bookshelf used to be over here, which is now actually in this corner over here. So I moved everything, dusted down everything, moved everything out. And as I was doing that, I was like, there's absolutely no reason for me to clean that area, take everything off the shelves, and then put them back on the shelves, knowing that I would have to move them again. So that's when I was like, oh, crap. I started moving books and didn't even record. But anyway, all of my books are currently now in the kitchen that were in there. And as you can see, I'm laying them out, but I'll explain that. This is the bookshelf, and I'll insert like some other clips and stuff like that so you can see. But this is the shelf that I had over here in this corner, right over here. And this is the first place we're actually going to be getting custom shelving. So I'm going to have like 7 floating shelves added on this wall over here. So where the bookshelf was, the floating shelf will be, which will allow me a lot more books because the idea is to go from like corner to corner basically all the way up. I believe we counted 7. He's going to come and do like the official measurements, but I believe he counted like 7, which if we come back to this shelf right here, I think I've had this for like maybe a year. I got it off Amazon. You can see that the width here, and as you look at the old clips, you can see that it didn't extend the entire way. So of course this was limited. This has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I think we're going to get 1 extra and then we're going to have more length. I'm actually going to move this to my room. So I might do a video about like how I organize that and incorporate that. But that's actually going to go here. And then above the doorway, I'm actually going to have a floating shelf installed. So there's one that's going to run right above this doorway. And then on the other side in the living room, so you guys know this space, my chair, y'all have seen this room. On this side, we're actually going to do a floating shelf that goes the entire length. Originally, I was going to do it like over the doorway, but I was like, well, should I do shelves in this corner? I am not, because I don't want to overwhelm the space with shelves. I can always have more installed. So I'm just going to leave this as like a free space, what it is, or maybe something different, but I'm not going to do any custom built-ins. But instead of just doing this shelf over the doorway, I'm going to extend it the full length. So that's the idea. Excuse me. So of course we had that bookshelf, which included all of those books, and then some of these were double stacked. Right now I'm just using where my coffee bar is. I haven't set everything up because I literally just cleaned the space today. Excuse me. Okay. So these are books that I have not read yet, and I just kind of put these ones here so I can separate them from the ones that I have read. And then, of course, we have what's on the table, which are all books that I've already read as well. I don't know exactly how many, but I have them doubled on each side. So these are books I've read. And then we have this shelf, which are books that I have not read either. I am not going to try to put all of those up there because, like I said, my coffee and tea stuff goes up there. I'm just kind of using that little corner, which I was already using, just because I think it gives it more character than just having the open empty space. And not being the holidays, I don't have tons of decorations, so I use my books. But this shelf, like I said, is going to remain. I'm just not taking these off yet because I have a spring cleaning schedule. I'm not doing a spring cleaning video. That would drive everybody crazy, including me. But that's why I just haven't moved these, because all this needs to be dusted and everything. But yes, so those books will probably stay on that little shelf there. But the reason, what I'm going to do with all the books that I've read, and I still have to dust down what's on the table, that brings us to the kitchen. So my idea is that I am going to have the shelves installed. I was like, okay, I think I'm going to reorder my books differently. Right now, all of my books were in the order that I read them. So all the books on that table, like all the books that were on the shelves, are literally in the order that I read them. But now I'm actually going to, since I have the other shelves, going to alphabetize them pretty much for the most part like you would find in a library. I'm going to do it by author's last name. All my books, for those of you who are new here, are mysteries, horrors, and thrillers. I do have my Disney Twisted Tale series. Okay, I'll turn this way and you might be able to see it. Can you see it? Wait, yeah. Oh, you can't. It's dark. Okay, let's see. I'm not walking upstairs right now. But I don't know if you can see that bookshelf up there. That is where I house my Twisted Tale series, my Disney books, and I will probably leave those up there. And any other like Disney related books, I'll probably just keep those off separate. But for all of my books, my goal is to actually put them in alphabetical order. So since they're all really the same genre, I'm not going to do the work of, let me put all the horrors, all the mysteries, all the thrillers, only because since I am going to have those higher floating shelves, I don't want it to be a thing where every single time I finish a book, I'm having to rearrange on those high shelves. So my idea is I'm just going to put them all in the order by author. Anything that is not, like, I have one historical fiction in here. And then I have like another book where one is more like kind of development. And then I have one book. When I got it from the bookstore, it was like in the mystery section because it has some mystery elements, but like it could fall under another category, but I'm going to leave that with the others. But those two books, the historical fiction and then the one that is a development book, I will probably always include those on the end, since those ones aren't part of horrors, mysteries, and thrillers, but they're not my Disney collection, so I'm not going to put them like in a different place in the house, but I'll just probably always have them at the end. But everything else, I'm going to alphabetize last name by author, and if it's a series, of course, it'll be alphabetical by author and then the order of the series, and then within every author, if it's like I have a series but they have a book where the title of the book comes before the series, even if it was like published after, I'm going to put them in order by title. So it's going to be in order by author, then series will be together, but then title will take precedence over publishing. So if the title of a book that's not a part of the series is A, and it goes, that'll go first, based off of the first title in the series, if that makes sense. So like, I'm trying to figure out where all of my Indian Lake trilogy. So I have the Indian Lake trilogy over here. This oven puts off so much heat. Like, these books are warm. Actually, that's not where it is. I don't even know where it is. Okay, so it's right here. So like, this first one is My Heart is a Chainsaw. And then I just recently read All the Good Indians. So All the Good Indians would come first. Well, that's before all of these anyway. But I think you're getting the picture. It's going to be trilogy together, title, and yeah. Anyway, you'll be able to see that. So right now, I'm literally just going to go through, organize these books so far, because I know I'm going to have to include others. But I just want to kind of create some piles and start stacking them over here and probably over here, because this stuff can get moved. Just so they're out of the way. I already have some working stacks. And then once I finish that one, I'll put them in there. And then I'll just probably line them up against the wall in there until the shelves are done. I'm not going to try to reshelf anything. Hopefully he'll be able to get that project done within the next month or so. So that's the goal. Welcome to, in my opinion, the most anticipated video that I am going to do of the year. Very dramatic. But I am so super excited. So you might be thinking, girl, what are you doing? Like, what's happening? Clearly, I am reorganizing books. We do know that. But why? Because I got my shelves installed. So I have been doing different updates to my house for a while now, and I am moving now indoors, and I really wanted to have one more book space because the little shelf that I did have, if you guys remember some videos ago, I haven't done very many videos standing in front of that shelf because I actually moved it upstairs because I got the idea to install custom bookshelves. And I was like, okay, I'll wait until I move and then build this great library. Let me actually bring you guys down a little bit further. So yeah, I can actually like try to put some books in order while I'm talking. So I was like, oh, just wait. And then when I, get my next house, then I'll have my library. And then I'll like do all this decorative stuff and put all the cute stuff on there. But I'm like, even if I started working on like another house right now, because I want an older house and I want to do the whole reno thing, or I might build a house, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to just go ahead and do this now because why not? And of course, when you add built-ins, that's good for resale and rental, right? So I'm like, I'm not going to wait because I want to do it now. Like, why wait to do something that you really want to do if you could do it, even if on a smaller scale? And that was my big thing. Like, oh, it's not going to be an actual library. Like, if you're like, I can't call it my library if I don't have like this room dedicated to these books. So I have to wait until I move. So that was kind of the mindset, but then I was like, that's stupid. And so I am actually arranging all of the books alphabetically. Now, normally, if you're new here, I would order my books in the order that I read them. So I had my shelf where I used to stay in that glass shelf that I got. I also used my table that you guys can see me putting books on. I use that, and then I have like another little shelf. But I was literally out of book space. Like, this table was full of books. Every single shelf that I had in that glass shelf was full of books. And then I also had books on like my entryway table and on the smaller table. So like I literally didn't have any more room. And I'm like, I need to have more shelves, or like, what am I going to do? Like, books are just going to be stacked all over the place and under chairs and all that craziness. So I was like, I'm building my mini library. So I have 2 of the shelves installed, and I just can't wait until tomorrow. Like, I'm like, I want to do this today. So 2 of the shelves are installed, the bigger shelves, and I'm actually going to reorder them in alphabetical order. Now, the shelves are so high. Like, I'm going to show you what they actually look like, and it's crazy because you can see, like, in the early, I don't know how I'm going to edit this because I have clips of, like, months ago when I was talking about what I was going to do and I was moving the books off the shelf. So I don't know. You might have already seen that, where they're going to go. But they are freaking high. Y'all, like, I don't have a fear of heights, but I do have a fear of falling. I was literally talking about this with one of my managers today. I have a fear of falling. Like, the idea of falling and hurting or breaking a bone does not appeal to me, y'all. I was going up there to, like, dust it off. Y'all. One, I'm glad I bought that new ladder, because if not, I wasn't even going to be able to reach up there. But I did not realize how tall it was until I was like trying to see the top of the shelf, and I had to go all the way to the top. So the books that are going, I had already decided that the books that are going the highest up will be the books I've already read, because that makes the most sense. I am going to alphabetize all of the books that I've already read. However, I am not going to be putting books in as I read them, if that makes any sense. I'm just going to order all of these books, put all the books up there that I've already read in alphabetical order. But as I read books, more and more books, I am still going to use my table because I actually do like the table being a bookshelf. And I think people, when they come, they're like, oh, books. And it's like a conversation piece. And that way I'm not having to, because I'm doing this now alphabetical versus in the order that I read them. Of course, that would be easy because you just slap it at the back. Because I'm doing them alphabetically, I don't want to have to squeeze the book in, move the book around on the other shelf, because on each side of the den wall there's an upper high shelf, so I don't want to have to be up there every single time I read a book. So basically those that I've read will go up there, which is like a cool decor centerpiece item, and then everything that I am current like on my TBR is going to go on the lower shelves like they did with the other ones. They're just going to go on these shelves like before, and then as those shelves get full, I'm just going to transfer them to the table. And then when all of the table and the bookshelf is completely full, hopefully I will have my full room library. But if not, that's when I'll go and reorder them. So that's the plan. I've already been talking for 15 minutes. Have I? No, I think that's it. Anyway, so I am right now alphabetizing the books, y'all. This is kicking my butt. For those of you who don't know, and I don't think I've actually ever said this, but my first job was literally at a library. So this is my thing. I am very, very happy. I don't think I ever shared this, but for Christmas, my sister bought me my own book stamp. So it actually says from the library of, and I thought it was so funny because like, I wanted this, but I didn't buy it because I was like, I don't let people borrow my books. Like, if you look at my books now, some of them do have a few dents, but for the most part, it literally looks like I've never read, like, all of my books. Because I've always been you have to keep your books neat, and people can do whatever they want, bend up your books if you want, but it's always been like, keep your books nice and neat, and you don't bend the books, because like I said, I worked in the library, so there were books for everybody. But for the majority of my books, if you look at them, some of them looks like I'd never opened them, but that's just because I take really good care of my books. So I'm really excited about the alphabetizing, and I'm really excited about the stamping. I just realized that I went ahead, I probably should have stamped the books I didn't alphabetize, because when I initially took the books down, I started alphabetizing some of them, and then I was like, I'm going to finish later. Of course, months later, I never finished it, but I realized that I've mixed in books that have been stamped with books that haven't, so I'm actually going to need to sit here and stamp these books as well, because they're going to be going up top. So I just want to do all of that before they get up there. So that's what I'm doing right now. this is the fun part. Here are my shelves. So you already saw the footage of what it looked like before. If you've seen videos before, you definitely knew this was like nothing up here. So I have these long shelves that pretty much span the entire wall. I really love the color, even though I like literally picked it out in stress because I get so overwhelmed if there are tons of options. And then here is the second one. So this one's shorter because it doesn't span, of course, the entire length because there's a room here. And then here are my other shelves that I'm going to be standing in front of doing so many videos. So those are my shelves. I actually had them install some shelves in other areas, so I can't wait to show you guys that. But this is what I'm working with. This is insane. Like, all of these books, I did do another walkthrough because I could have sworn there's like another book with the B somewhere. Like, I feel like I saw it, and now I'm like, where is it? Because I did find one that started with the B, and I'm like, where is it? Did I get it? I don't know. And then here are the books that I still have. So everything's still a mess because they're doing work in the kitchen. So, okay, so there's only one more stack. So this is a stack that I have actually already alphabetized, but I have to put books in. So all the packages for some of the kitchen stuff. So here's what we're working with. So we're going to start putting the books up there. So let me set you guys up. All right. Gonna move that right there. Y'all, pray for me. Okay. Okay. All right. We're doing this. And then having to do this with like books in your hand is even crazier. All right, so I need to actually pull from the bottom of this stack because the bottom is actually the front. Okay, how many books do I feel comfortable having in my hand? And then I actually have to reorder them because, all right, so I'm gonna take BE. All right, I feel like this is enough. Is this the novel? Is this the one I was looking for? No, this is Buddy Steele. There is another book by a man. That's Brandon. I thought the man, I don't even know what the book is. Anyway, he might just end up at the back, depending on when I find him. So let's go. Okay, maybe I should take my shoes off. Oh, jeez. Oh, I did this wrong. I don't need to reorder them like that. What am I doing? Okay. Changing it back the way it was. Y'all, I'm so dumb. All right. You know what? I need to do this because then I can just stand them up in the right order. So yay! Success! Y'all, this is no fun. I'm not even all the way up on the ladder. Oh gosh. Oh. Now I gotta take a magic eraser to the ceiling. Okay, this one and then this one. Alright, I gotta be careful and not scrape my ceiling. Okay, so those are up. I am going to take off my shoe. I feel like I need to go put on yoga socks because yoga socks got grip. All right, here we go. I really should do this when like somebody else is at the house, but y'all count, right? Y'all got my back? I don't know why I'm struggling with the order though. So A should have been on, no, because even if, because then if A was on top, it would go that way. I see what I did wrong, but it's okay. We got this. All right. All right. I think I'm gonna take my. Okay. Yo, I almost messed up. I almost forgot to stamp the books. Now I'm looking at this. I'm not even halfway done. I think we are going to fill this entire shelf. Like, I think the books that I have left on the table, well, I can't even say left on the table because that's going into the J's. So I need to, yeah, that's what I was like, Stephen Graham? I already did G's, but Jones. That's going into the G's, so I'm going to need to bring that shelf over here and start ordering those. So these books alone could definitely, I feel like fill up that shelf for almost, and when I bring those in there. So we are going to go to the other side. Yo, this is actually pretty cool and pretty exciting. So, yeah, I hope it's not too far. Yeah, I guess that was the best placement for you guys. But yeah, so I am going to just keep taking away, keep putting books up, and yeah. Y'all, we are at the last stack. So this is the last stack that I have in through I have to stamp these and then put them up there. This is what we're looking like so far. I should be able to get like 2 more books on that side. I have extra space. It's not filling, but I think that's so crazy. Like I filled this entire one side. So yeah, I fill this entire one side. And with the books that I have like just sitting here, like it's at least gonna take a quarter of the next size. But of course, like I said, I won't put those up there. I'm thinking about it that I'm like, oh, well, I guess I could put the books on that side that are like easier to fill in. But I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna wait that way, like these shelves aren't empty or whatever. I like that. So all right, let's get to it, guys. Almost there. All right, guys, so that is the entire book library transformation. So let me go ahead and take you through. So of course, on the inside of the den area, that's where I just have books. There were so many of them, we just filled the entire shelves with the books. But on the opposite side, because that side isn't super full right now, I was able to do some decorations. So a lot of the stuff up there that I have, I actually got from Walmart. So the bookends, and you can actually see what, yeah, you can kind of see it here. This bookend is such cute detail. Let me kind of take it off the shelf so you can see it in the clip right here too. I love this like kind of basket weave, kind of straw material here with the gold, because I do have gold. So I thought they made such cute decor pieces. Like I literally just have it sitting up there, not really holding the books in, and even down here just as a, you know, little cute little accent. And then I found this cute little picture and I was like, oh, that's gonna look nice. And then the next picture frame, I actually got that one. Did I get that one from Walmart? I did. I got that one from Walmart too. So all of these pieces, I know Walmart's are a little different, but all of those pieces were, if you walk inside the Walmart, there's typically like the very front area that has like some like cups and bowls and things like that. It was the wall facing this way, so it's going to be kind of where you immediately come into the store, because it looks like it's stuff that they're trying to highlight, and you'll see a bunch of like neutral stuff. They actually have another type of chunkier bookend, but I really wanted these so that once I am really filling these shelves, it's not going to take up as much space. And when you're doing it on Amazon, like they have like in the 4 count, but they didn't really have this kind of design. They had other fancier ones, but I really thought that was cute. So that's where those are going to be inside of Walmart. And then on this particular shelf, I have added in my little, you know, accents that I have. Now, I think I've said this before in a video. The head is supposed to be on, but it broke and I haven't put it back because trying to match the jaggedness typically doesn't work. But these are just like little things I got from Five Below last Halloween. I got 3 of them. I think they're super cute and I left them here. They do have these at Dollar Tree. So if you want the yoga moves, Dollar Tree has them. I think they have them in like the creamish color and then they have it in gold. They had them last year. They sold out. They're $1.50. These were $5, so it is a better price point there. I was able to put Mrs. Potts all the way up here at the top, and I absolutely love that. And then these Beauty and the Beast shakers that I got from, like, I think either TJ Maxx or Marshall's. I have those on the shelf too, and I absolutely love those because Beauty and the Beast is my favorite Disney movie. So the last thing here, decor-wise, that I did put on the shelf is this straw basket. And I needed a basket really because, and this came from Walmart too in that same section. I needed a basket because I have all of my like book bags and I didn't have a way to like put them and keep them with the decor stuff. Like I was keeping them with my purses and my other bags, but that's like upstairs. So I was like, I want a way to keep my book related like extras together. So I have these in there, and then I also have my book stamper in here. So this just helps me hide away the clutter, but then it just looks so cute on the shelf. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the tour of and the making and just the process of getting this. I've been waiting on this for a really long time, and now I have a cute little corner to do one of like book chats. And I still will be using the chair because the girl talks a lot and I like to sit down. But I have like that little space over there to do all of that. And I have this space to do all of that. And I absolutely love it. So my name is Sho'Shanna. For those of you who are new, join the family. If you are returning, as always, I appreciate you so much. Thank you. And I'll see you in the next one.